Today I would like to talk about expectation when it comes to creative pursuits. Now, this is something that I think I'm quite invested in because of what I do. I make videos. In the past, I've tried making video games, and I interact a lot with like very indie, very niche creations. There are like several creators, game creators that I personally know now because I've tried their games out and such. I just want to talk about what people expect when they get into like making games. You can expand this to other pursuits as well, but I'll use game as the main example. I might use other medium as examples here and there, but that's what I'm going to mainly talk about. I feel like there's this idea where if you're doing something and you're not immediately successful, then you're wasting your time. If you're drawing and you upload your drawing to the internet, it does not get like 1 million views, 1 million likes or whatever, you're wasting your time. You do anything like that, you're wasting your time if you don't get immediate success. And I think it's partially influenced by influencers. Those are great, wonderful people who only show the most glamorous, the highlights, the success points in their life where they do that type of content, they do that kind of stuff, and it shows, how much views, how much money they make out of this. And it's sort of made it so that people think that if you get into this career or like this creative endeavor or whatever, that's the expectation. You're expected to become as successful as them, which I think that shit is awful. I think this like kills interest. This type of stuff makes it so that people are like very discouraged to trying out game making or like any sort of like career, any sort of creative prospect. Small editor note, I meant to say that it discouraged people from continuing on their creative pursuits or their creative journey after they see that, the expectation does not meet reality. Because the fact of the matter is 9 times out of 10, you are not going to get that success. It is basically a infinitesimal and infinitely small possibility that you can ever achieve that sort of success. Basically like overnight virality. People shouldn't feel like their first project should be the next Undertale. I feel like that is like really fucked up. No one's first project would become Undertale. No one's first game would become fucking Minecraft. It's just impossible. Edmund Macmillan. Do you know what is cerebral discharge? Do you know what is cunt? Do you know what is Hobo's fucking rocket, the Hobo rocket game that he made? None of those games went anywhere. Still that he put in like effort into it. All the assets were made by him. It's only until like a lot later that he made Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac. All these people have to start somewhere. It is non-realistic to expect your first game is going to achieve the same level of success. It is a process. Those people who can make their first game be an overnight success, those people are the exceptions. You have to understand that. But the thing is that, of course, you only see that. When you think about indie games, you're thinking about Hollow Knight, you're thinking about Undertale, you're thinking about the shit that has already went viral, already achieved a level of success that millions and millions of other creators can only hope of even getting a fraction of. How the fuck would you see, I don't know, Papa Palm, like the last game that I played as like the first game you see on Steam? It's just a dichotomy of like expectation and reality, right? Like, do you think Toby Fox is the only person who launched a Kickstarter and like hope to make that game? Of course not. Like, there are like millions, like actual millions. Am I going to say necessarily that, because all of their games are worse than Undertale, worse than what Toby Fox has made, and that's why they have not achieved the same level of success as he has? No, fuck no. Like, some of them might have actually spent more time and more effort into making their own game, but it is due to a like variety of reasons. Maybe the general theme, the topic of their game is not the most popular. Maybe it's just luck. Maybe it's because like the time when they like decided to start a project. A lot of factors, a lot of different reasons for why some people just do not achieve the same level of success. I want to like put out some stats as well on like the amount of competition that you have to go through, the level of how saturated the current gaming market is, I guess you could say. About
51
games are uploaded to Steam every day. This July, there was 1,538 indie games that was uploaded to Steam. That's only indie. That's not filtering by any category, including like games made by bigger producers, which of course people are naturally going to be attracted to playing those games more. Divide that up into 30 days, you get about
51
games every day. On itch.io, 400 games are uploaded to that platform every single day. How are you going going to compete with that? It's almost impossible. And it's a really discouraging and really frustrating fact of life. But I think that like some people have this mindset where, oh, okay, as long as I put in enough hard work, as long as I grind hard enough, eventually I'll make it. Eventually I'll reach that point of success. No, I don't want to be discouraging. I don't want to be like blackpilled or whatever people say. But fact of the matter is, reality does not reward hard work. It is a story that most people would want you to believe because it's only fair. Your mind is naturally engineered to think that, okay, if I put in the work, if I put in the hard work, eventually I'll achieve success. But it's just not. It's just not how it is. Even outside of creative endeavors, there are people out there who cannot achieve success even if they put in all the hard work into things that is already confirmed by society to guarantee you success. Like people who study years and years, like spend their entire life in certain fields of like maybe science or something, get their fucking entire life crushed overnight because like AI, for example, AI taking over jobs. They'll never get like a junior position now because who the fuck would hire them when an AI can do that job? It is extremely discouraging, and this idea that success does not equate to hard work is only amplified, if not tenfold, in creative endeavors. There are like people out there who have spent like years trying to perfecting their craft, and they never achieve any amount of success that is even comparable to some of the names you've like heard of. There's also this other thing where I feel like there's a lot of people who seem to fall into this trap where they basically put in all their eggs into one basket. I don't know how else to describe it, where they seem to think that, okay, if they put in like a lot of time, a lot of effort into one single thing, one singular project or whatever, it will guarantee them success. But as I've said already, it's not going to guarantee you success. But it really is a trap because like not only, okay, let's say you put in a lot of time and effort into this thing. Now it's like a sunk cost fallacy, right? I already put in so much time and effort into it. If I don't put in more right now, it means that all the time and stuff that I've already put into it have already gone to waste. That's my only option at this point. But I feel like sometimes maybe there could be a bigger space, or like we could give newer creators or people who have clearly like put in a lot of work and time into their stuff and yet they receive very little attention. I feel like more people could go out of their way to give them more of a chance, right? That's the reason why I even started my Let's Play series, Gameplayer, because I want to specifically focus on people who might not have that chance to at least show them, hey, there's at least one person on this earth that played your game. There are people out there like, who's it, like Manny Badass Hero, or like that beta game test guy or whatever his name is, who specifically more so play games that they found on itch.io that do not have that amount of attention right now. And I feel that's good, you know, and I hope to see more stuff like that. And I feel like I've been seeing like a lot of people, especially when it comes to YouTube. Once I got into like making YouTube videos, I start to see this a lot more, where it's people who genuinely, I think they just do not give a shit about what they make. Mainly because like I've seen like people who make this AI content, just fully AI generated, just slop. And then they have the audacity to go onto like Reddit or whatever, go into different online spaces and ask people, hey, how come my videos aren't doing well? Can somebody help me? Why is YouTube not fair to me? And I feel like these people are the type of people that get into some sort of creative pursuit, not because they want to necessarily say something, not because they necessarily have some sort of idea or like some sort of concept they want to express into the world. It's just simply because they like the idea of they are earning money, or that at the very least they are getting attention, which I think that kills hobbies. That kills interest, because you are simply not going to be guaranteed that. I understand, you know, hard work does not equate to, you know, reward. It sort of demotivates people. It's sort of like, okay, well then why should I bother? Why should I care about actually making good videos? You should care because it's not just about getting fucking views. How about that? You should care because you should have something called artistic or creative integrity in your work. You know, that is a concept that I think a lot of the time people just don't give a shit nowadays. It's hard to like vote them, especially when the entirety of society is telling you, who gives a shit about that? Just make whatever's popular, make whatever you know will succeed. And I think that is just fucked up, especially with the rise of AI. I only expect to see more and more people, more and more industries that slowly turns into, you're only ever going to see like whatever is already popular, whatever is guaranteed to work. You're never going to see stuff that genuinely like creative, because you're discouraged to do so. Why should you do something like that when it's not guaranteed to give you success? I think, that's something that even I am affected by a little bit. Sometimes in the past, I have made videos more so because it is the current trending topic. And I hope that, okay, if I make videos about those things, then that video will get more views, right? It's only human nature to want to get more attention, right? Like, of course, there are going to be overnight successes, right? Like, there are games like Mecha Chameleon, that's a good example. How Many Guys, Balatro as well. Those types of games are games where you don't really expect them to hit the mark, to achieve the level of success that they do. But the thing is that those are basically people who won the lottery. You cannot expect to win the lottery every time you fucking buy it. It's just impossible. You're rolling this dice, you're like spinning this wheel of like 1 in 1 million, hoping that you will get that one every time. At the end of the day, what am I trying to say about this? Am I just like discouraging people? Am I just trying to make people give up on their dreams? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is to change your focus on why is it that you make games? Why is it that you pursue any sort of creative endeavors in general? And I want to make it so that people can understand and perhaps try to make games, make things for yourself. That's what I'm hoping to see. Of course, there are times where it's going to be difficult. How do you justify spending so much time into making a game and yet no one plays it? Well, is it not enough that you yourself like it? I feel like more people should ask themselves these two questions whenever they try to get into a creative endeavor. 1, do you like doing it? Do you like the process of creation? And 2, do you enjoy whatever it is that you created yourself? I think these two questions, if either one of them is no, then maybe you should reconsider how is it that you are approaching this. You don't need to make the next success. You don't need to become the next Toby Fox. And trying to force yourself into doing things in a way that you don't even enjoy it anymore, it's only going to kill your interest. It's only going to make you hate making videos. It's only going to make you hate making games. And I hope that more people can simply enjoy the fact that they have a little game, it's uploaded on itch.io, maybe it got like maybe 100 or maybe just like a couple tens of plays, and that's good enough, right?